top somehow. I'll keep moving on. I won't stop now. I'll keep moving on till I reach the top somehow. I'll keep moving on. I won't stop now. I'll keep moving on till I reach the top somehow.
Yes, my Straight Talk family, you've heard that theme song, and you must know it's time for me to say greetings to the world. Time for me to say good night, St. Kitts and Nevis, and greetings, like I said, to the entire world, as we are here in the beautiful federation of two beautiful islands and one lovely paradise. And we reach and communicate with you all over the globe. We reach and communicate with you in the Kittitian division and Caribbean diaspora all around the globe. And I know that some of you are in Africa. There's some of you in Europe. There are some of you in Asia. And there are a whole lot of you all over North America. And here's what, it's Thanksgiving. And we ought to say a happy Thanksgiving night to those of you in North America in particular. If you left me some of your turkey, or you did not, you didn't expect me to show up for dinner. But I say to the first timers, because we do get first timers, and I thank those who continue to share the link. Whenever you do, we get first timers, and we want to inform you first timers that Straight Talk is a public service program that facilitates and promotes free, underline free expression on all issues of national interest. Be they legal, be they environmental, be they technological, social, economic, and or political issues. On Straight Talk, we do have a forum to express yourselves freely. And on this program, we try to raise the level of national, regional, and international consciousness. We try to raise the level of national, regional, and international discourse by alerting our people to their rights, to their responsibilities, and to their obligations. My name is Ian Patches Liburd, and I give Almighty God thanks for blessing me with yet another opportunity to join you in conversation on yet another occasion. And yes, we had a slightly tardy start, for which I must humbly apologize, but in the process, to remind you as well that here on Straight Talk, we do not water down. I must say, absolutely nothing is watered down on this program. We never try to make it more interesting. We never try to make it sensational or create excitement. That's not what Straight Talk is all about. Because we'll have to do that at the expense of accuracy. And we like to lean on the facts. As it's my bounden duty to present you at all times the unvarnished truth, especially when it comes to governance, transparency, accountability, wherever you are on this planet Earth. As we reach and touch you all around the Federation, we reach and communicate with you all around the world. And some of you we know very well, some of you we have never met. Physically, that is, as we have met so many times spiritually, I know that. But we entertain what I call a diversity of views, because we are a different people, and we'll have all different opinions, especially our positions when it comes to the positions of truth that are advanced here on Straight Talk. And nothing is wrong with diversity. Nothing is wrong with different views. But let's accept. But please do not get unacceptable. Or I should rather say, let's disagree, but let's not get disagreeable. Let's thank Almighty God nonetheless for helping us to understand, oh, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. So welcome again, my people, and thanks for those who share the link. As I said before, as you bring first-timers, please continue to do so. And for the first-timers, if you love it, go tell it over the mountain. Go tell it to the whole world. If you do not love it, find some way to come and tell me. I must always remind you that Straight Talk is a participative program. We include your calls, we include your emails, and if you're so minded calling, the numbers are on your screens. If you, like I said, like the cloak of anonymity, we give you access via our email platform, and that address is also on your screens. And my Straight Talk family, we also provide you access via Alexa. For those who have that access to Alexa, just say, Alexa, play Massive Vibes Radio. And we thank you again for your support. And we say a special welcome to our junior brigade. That is an imperative. I must say hello to young Dwayne, young Jasmine, to Tristan, Shamar, Kevin, Rue, Jamal, Travis, Travon, my grandson Neymar, and his good friend Soraya, and young Elizabeth, and that special lady. Hope you are recuperating. Is that the right word? Yes, to the special lady in St. Louis. We normally have our observations and review as well when we reflect on the issues of the day. And after our observations and review, we'll begin our thesis for tonight, which I've titled The SEZ, a gateway to the biggest CBI scams in St. Kitts and Nevis's history. And our first observation, my Straight Dog family, look at shelter. And some time ago, government went into bed with a fraudster and promised to provide 2.4 or 2,400, I should say, houses here in St. Kitts. That was going to be a revolution. But something went wrong. You remember this, my Straight Dog family?
Good day, citizens and residents. I am taking the opportunity to address the nation on the government of St. Kitts and Nevis' progress in providing affordable home owners solutions. As a government, we believe that it is critically important for our citizens and residents to become home owners, and as such has made it a top priority to create affordable housing solutions that will meet the ever-growing housing demand. Today, as the Minister responsible for housing and human settlement, I am pleased to formally announce that the government of St. Kitts and Nevis and National Housing Corporation NHC has signed a contract with East Coast Housing Development, a Trinidadian-based developer, to finance and deliver 2,400 affordable smart homes over a period of 4 years, 600 of which will be made available each year. EC's $600 million has been sourced by this developer to fund the project, and the government of St. Kitts and Nevis, through NHC, will facilitate the development and be the point of access for the citizens who are interested in procuring a smart home.
And of course, I know, my Straight Dog family, many of us remember that. When the slow student and his cabinet told us that it is better on the labor, and they went to Parliament to approve a resolution that guaranteed US $10.3 million, just about 10.3. Yes, I rounded off those figures. And we must remember this guarantee. This guarantee was presented for that project, my Straight Dog family. And the guarantee on page 2 read, "Now therefore be it resolved by the National Assembly that the government hereby guarantees a sum of $10 million to $160,000, that's US dollars, representing a guarantee of the sums to be contractually payable by the National Housing Corporation to East Coast Housing to construct the first phase of climate smart houses on lands owned by resident landowners of St. Kitts who have been approved, beg your pardon, by the National Housing Corporation. And this was approved by the National Assembly on the 14th day of June in 2024. But lo and behold, my straight dog family, the people ain't get no houses. And the bank was defrauded of millions of dollars, my straight dog family. And suddenly, the bank makes a claim to the High Court in St. Kitts and Nevis, the Eastern Caribbean High Court to be exact. And on the claim form, you can glean on your screens, my straight dog family, the claimant claims against the defendant, being East Coast Housing Development Limited, the sum of $7,770,508.76, which is the amount due under a credit facility granted by the claimant to the defendant under a facility letter dated 19th April 2024, inclusive of interest to March 27, 2025, plus interest pursuant to the contractual interest rate of 5.5% per annum thereafter until payment, and B, the sum of $65,812.84, which is overdrawn, or the overdrawn sum that should be due on the current account number 107078844, granted by the claimant to the defendant business account and services application and change form dated March 14, 2024, together with interest at such rate as the court may deem expedient pursuant to Section 29 of the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court, my straight dog family. And you can also see on your screens to the right there a notice of seizure. And it's self-explanatory. Take notice that the goods contained herein have been seized pursuant to a writ of execution filed in the case of CIBC Caribbean Bank Barbados Limited versus East Coast Housing Development Limited, claim number SKB8CV 2025/0111. And my straight dog family, we ask, when will we know the truth about this East Coast housing development and the 2,400 houses? When we will know the truth about this fraud that was committed on the bank and on the poor people of St. Kitts and Nevis? Let me say St. Kitts primarily. The student Jeffrey Hanley said that the government has lost no money, and the Attorney General would explain. He said this some time ago.
Directly to the question that was asked, as you know, as a country, we engage the East Coast Housing Development in assisting us in delivering some homes. Unfortunately, the 600 homes that we were anticipating, with all of the challenges that we might have been experiencing, not us so much as a government, but the investor, that has caused some delays. These matters are being worked on, and what I said to the Federation is that based on the contractual arrangement that we would have signed, the AG office, of course, is working on ensuring that the government's interest, which it is protected. But because of the delay, we have not lost any money as a government.
And that was since March, my Straight Talk family. But do you believe anything that comes from the mouth of Terrence Michael Drew, his deputy, the slow student Jeffrey Hadley, and the entire cabinet? Well, he said that the Attorney General would inform the nation. Well, Garth Lucifer Wilkin has not said a word, not one word he has said. But perhaps Lucifer himself has his own domestic problems. Remember how he ranted and got out of hand, my Straight Talk family.
Good afternoon.
Fred, I am extremely disappointed to hear that you are telling people stupidness about my wife. Do not cross the line. Do not cross the f***ing line.
What are you talking about?
Because I will deal with it in court, Reggie. Do not call my wife's name to anybody. You hear me?
I don't know if that's
Do not
all right. That's all right.
Well, my Straight Dog family, the country has not heard from Attorney General Garth Lucifer Wilkin about the contract and what's the exact disposition in terms of the guarantee provided. But is it reasonable to conclude that we won't hear from Garth Lucifer Wilkin anytime now because he has his own domestic problems, it seems. So the people have to wait for their houses. The CIBC will fight in court to recover its losses. They've already issued that notice of seizure, like I said before. And our second observation, my Straight Dog family, recall that we informed you of the construction of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank Presidential Palace, we call it. We are told that it is substantially complete, and getting accurate information on the final cost is like extracting your wisdom tooth. Earlier estimated at $22 million, and referred to by Ralph Gonzalez, as opulence is one of the words he used, and he also said this as well.
It is true
Excessive.
that there is a dwelling which is being built by the governor, built for the governor, built by the central bank for the governor, where the price tag is wholly excessive and does not reflect a particular level of prudence. And that is a matter on which I was recently advised, and it's a matter on which I have engaged my colleagues, and it is a matter which I am hopeful would be resolved in a manner which is satisfactory to the people of the currency union and also very much the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Straight Talk is, however, unaware of the final cost of this palace. Meanwhile, Governor Timothy Antoine was first appointed in 2016, and the Monetary Council approved his reappointment for a second term in February 2021. My Straight Dog family. And Antoine has served the governments and people of the ECCU, the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union, that should be. He has served them well. And we here wish him all the best as he continues to lead the bank in its pursuit of the socio-economic transformation of the OECS region. My third and final observation, my Straight Dog family, relates to our sister island of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The polls have already been closed in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. You understand that the count, or some of that count, has already come in what many predict will be an historical election in that country. The incumbent of 25 years in the final hours of campaigning was cursing and at the same time begging, and things just did not look good for the Vincentian boss, Ralph Gonzalez, when he was begging and at the same time cursing.
What I can't tolerate though is some of the ungrateful and bad-minded set of people, some of them. Young people, women, elderly, men, everybody, come back home to labor if you're straight. Please, please, help us to help you. Lift us up. Lift me up, please. I beg you. Lift me up. Lift these comrades up so that we can be lifted up together. Lift me up, please. I beg you. Lift me up. Let us lift up each other. When troubles come, don't sell out our country. The NDP have a lot of bad-minded and wicked people in their leadership. Give us a massive victory.
Well, things, from my vantage point, my own assessment, did not look good for Ralph. And I'll be surprised if he had enough people to lift him up, as he was begging, lift him up, please. Meantime, the opposition, NDP, on the other hand, utilized their final campaign moments to rally its supporters whilst reiterating its proposed policies that they would implement on assuming office. The NDP on the Bruce Friday, believe me, was looking good at the very last moments.
From lowering the rates on the central consumption tax to increasing the salaries of public servants, the new Democratic Party outlined its plans at a rally that was also part Thanksgiving and part celebration.
And so we have a date with destiny.
There was some praise and worship and a little gospel too in the meeting at Keaton's in the rural west of the island.
I have come here to share some great news with every single one of you. And that is because weeping may endure for a night, but joy but joy comes in the morning.
The central message of the night came from a party that says, if elected, it will target St. Vincent's affordability crisis, starting by reducing the rate of the value-added tax.
You will be able to afford it when we reduce the VAT.
The NDP continues to believe it is on the cusp of something special.
I tell you this, that on the morning of the 28th of November, we are going to hear, you're going to look across to your neighbors, and they're going to shout, free at last! Free at last! Thank God Almighty! Free at last.
Well, the general consensus is that come tomorrow morning, the majority of persons in St. Vincent supporting the NDP will be shouting free at last from the 25 years under the Vinci boss, Ralph Gonzalez. And those are my observations tonight, and I'm almost positive I'm accurate. But that's not the news from St. Vincent Market. Those are just my speculation and my predictions that the NDP supporters will be saying tomorrow, free at last, from 25 years of Ralph Gonzalez. Why did he want 30? But those are my observations in review for tonight, my Straight Talk family. And I move right into my thesis, which I titled, as mentioned a few moments ago, the SEZ, a gateway to the biggest CBI scams in St. Kitts and Nevis' history. The creation of the Special Economic Zones, SEZ, the Special Economic Zones framework, I should say, in St. Kitts and Nevis, has sparked one of the most alarming waves of public distrust in recent memory, especially after hearing in particular from Terence Michael Drew, Mark Anthony Graham Brantley, and Olivier Jensens. For several months, many were asking questions about destiny, but proper answers are still not forthcoming. The Premier, who is no doubt one of the architects behind SEZs in St. Kitts and Nevis, when asked about the CBI connection, provided a convoluted answer when he said this, my Straight Talk family.
About the connectivity with CBI. Now, one of the things that has been said or mooted in the agreements that are being negotiated is that every single proposed investor in that South Coast project will have to pay the registration and processing fees for citizenship by investment, even if that person does not then want it or apply for it. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So once you come into that zone, you have to pay the money, right, up front. If you choose not to, because many people choose not to, they're not interested in citizenship, then that's a matter for you. But whether you decide to apply for citizenship or not, you have to pay that money up front. That is one of the aspects that has been negotiated just in terms of generating revenue for the Citizenship by Investment program and for the government of St. Kitts and the government of Nevis as well.
And my Straight Talk family, that proposition is so false. Because as said before, I'll continue to say, that nowhere in the CBI legislation reference is made to registration fees. But Mark Brantley tried to deflect the attention by misinforming the media when asked. But Olivier Jensens debunked everything he said and confirmed that it is intended that Destiny will in fact be a CBI project Jensen said this.
Is the project a CBI project?
We're still discussing with the government, of course, but yes, the idea is that people that buy a unit can also get a passport with that. So it also increases the CBI income, because the CBI income has been drying up substantially. It's also a big concern for the island, so it can definitely help rejuvenate the whole passport program.
It's a plan. Mark Anthony Graham Brantley has engineered to get his own way from Terence Michael Drew. Sometimes I'm tempted to call him an idiot, if he weren't the Prime Minister. Because he acts like an idiot at times. He acts as if he's daft. So Mark no longer speaks about fair share. And I will tell you why. Under Timothy Harris's Team Unity administration, Mark Brantley wanted to collect the CBI fees, or any CBI fees that were payable on any CBI project done in Nevis, then send the receipts to St. Kitts for the issuance of the certificates of registration and eventually the St. Kitts Nevis passport. And at the end of the year, Nevis will deduct 25% of the total amount of CBI fees collected, then send the balance to St. Kitts. But Mark could not be trusted, as the NIA, for example, collects Social Security in Nevis, but do not regularly pay the Social Security Board. The contents of this letter confirms that, my Straight Dog family. And although I have not got my hand on a recent communication, this, I understand, still happens. Mark Brantley continues to refuse to pay the Social Security deductions that are contribution, that are deducted from the wages of civil servants. But Mark could not be trusted with the NIA or be trusted with the Social Security fees and severance payments and what have you that he collected. But how can you trust Mark with CBI fees? This was unacceptable, and rightly so, unacceptable to Timothy Harris. And all hell break loose, and Harris had to go. So Harris had to go, my Straight Dog family.
CCM put you up and CCM take you down. Be careful with CCM. We are a strong, powerful party. And anybody that underestimates the CCM does so at their peril.
Well, my Straight Dog family, up came the Caribbean Galaxy, or the prison project as it is familiarly called. It's popularly called, I should say. And the cabinet, hear this, the cabinet, including Mark Anthony Graham Brantley, approved 3.5 thousand shares that mysteriously jumped to 5.5 thousand shares under the first public benefit option approved by the Team Unity administration. So the allocation of the shares for the prison or correctional facility was done in two tranches. First, 3.5 thousand, then they came back for 2,000 more shares. And Mark lied about being in the yard. And a lot of you will get mad with me when I talk the truth, but I have no other choice. I have no other choice because I believe that Christ is the incarnate Son of God. Because I try to live a Christian life. When I ask why 5,500 shares, yes, on a prison project. The foolish answer I got, it was the recommendation from Skipper. What nonsense, I thought. And this is what mash up team unity and have so many people suffering till this day. Many still can't buy food for their children. Many can't pay their bills, can't pay their rent. Many just can't get ends meet. And sometimes I ask myself, why didn't Sean, Lindsay, Jonelle and Mark insist that the additional 2,000 shares be rescinded or not approved? Hell no. They smelled blood and they wanted power. So they all ensured that the coalition collapsed. The prison project was a scam, according to Garth Lucifer Wilkin. See his WhatsApp message. Terrence Michael Drew said it was criminal. And his campaign, his language, and his promises swept him into office, beg your pardon. But we soon found out that Abba no better than Saba. The first thing Jude did was to befriend the Caribbean Galaxy lady, then took the lady to UNGA, the United Nations General Assembly. And the good scam was exposed thanks to Philippe Martinez, whose judicial review revealed that fraud was taking place in the CBI programs in St. Kitts, and not only St. Kitts, in the Caribbean. Philippe Martinez exposed them when he filed this lawsuit.
What is the judicial review? And why did MSF file the judicial review? MSF makes no money, not even $1, not even the reimbursement of our legal costs to do that lawsuit. MSF have been saying, what is now common knowledge all over the Caribbean, that a fraud took place in the citizenship by investment program.
And yes, fraud is still taking place, I would add. Martinez also revealed that 20,000 or more CORs, certificates of registration, was signed by Terrence Michael July. Do you believe that?
True. Despite all the good intention, we found out that he has processed a lot of the Galaxy application, right? So the next day, he canceled his press conference, and then he came in front of the press and he said, Mr. Martinez is a fraudster.
And my Straight Talk family, but alas, we just uncovered a better scam in the SEZ project Destiny. Jensen's revealed that units would be sold at $325,000 US. My Straight Dog family. Jensen revealed this.
Is the project a CBI project?
We're still discussing with the government, of course, but yes, the idea is that people that buy a unit can also get a passport with that. So it also increases the CBI income, because the CBI income has been drying up substantially. It's also a big concern for the island, so it can definitely help rejuvenate the whole passport program.
So yes, that's what Jensen said. But my people, estimate 4 persons per family. The applicant, their wife, and 2 children. And that would equal to 40,000 residents in that enclave over there in the southwest of Nevis. Estimate further 10,000 units at $325,000 US each or per unit. That would equal, if my mathematics is correct, I always tell you maths is my strongest weak point. That equals to 3.5 billion US dollars. Or EC $8.8 billion. In my straight dog family, there can only be one conclusion. This SEZ is a gateway to the biggest CBI scams we will have in St. Kitts and Nevis' history. But Terence Michael Drew remained silent, and Mark Anthony Graham Brantley lied. The money, you see, will sweet him. CBI fees will amount to US $650 million, US that is, or 1.8 billion EC dollars. And calculate 25% of that for the snake. 25% will be $439 million. That's why he don't want no fair share. And Mumu Drew wants to take or allow him to collect this money in Nevis. What's wrong with this man called Terence Michael Drew? How could he allow Mark to collect money in Nevis for CBI? Olivier Janssen also revealed that for several months he has been talking with the NIA and with the federal government. For several months he's been talking with both governments, my straight dog family. He said this.
You just mentioned that an office will be opened on the island of St. Kitts and one on Nevis as well for Destiny. My question is related to that. When did this, have you had any discussions with the federal government about Destiny? And when did those discussions begin? Thank you.
Thank you, Carl. Appreciate it.
Yeah, of course we had discussions with the governments. I mean, with both of them, right? So as I mentioned with the premier, the initial ideas were discussed in 2024 in the summer, and then they took more shape. It became more serious, and then we had enough land, and it was serious enough to go public. Summer 2025, sort of the summer 2025, right? But of course, yeah, we have been talking to the government, and we will continue to do so.
So when you hear Drew talking and saying, keep him out of this and keep him out of that, the man been talking to Janssens for several months. What are we going to do with these liars? You remember what Mama said about liars? Where you find a liar, you find a what? You know it best. So the people are not imagining things. You're not. The people are reacting to the complete lack of transparency, lack of oversight and accountability surrounding the first project being rammed through under the SEZ umbrella. Let's just speak frankly. The SEZ is being widely viewed as a structure deliberately designed to enable the largest citizenship by investment abuses our country has ever faced. Why? Because every safeguard that should reassure the public has been weakened, while every condition that typically fuels corruption has been strengthened. No transparency, no accountability, no confidence. The government has passed sweeping legislation that gives the developers extraordinary power while giving citizens almost no information. The Destiny Project appeared from nowhere. Olivier Jensen's developer speak publicly with confidence, even before his approval is being granted. He hasn't got his project approved by giving you jobs. What does that tell you, my Straight Dog family? And he develops his own laws and his own security because he tells us that St. Kitts and Nevis is not safe.
People really want to have a safe place to live with strict rule of law where they know their family can live. If you're wealthy, you'll be safe. And it's more about that for me, right? It's not about having a country whatsoever. You just need the safety. You need to write internal rules and regulations to make sure you can be safe. And that's the most important part. You don't need your own country from that. You can have a special economic zone in the world, like in the DIFC. Why is Monaco and the DIFC so attractive? And that's also answering the question why, right? The DIFC and Monaco are one of the safest places in the world. Why does it attract so many affluent individuals? Number one is safety for your family, right? When you have a family, number one you care about is my family safe? The second thing people care about, I would say, is between weather and taxation. In Monaco, you feel super safe because it's very safe. You don't have to pay taxes. You're in a great climate. Unfortunately, Monaco is fully built. It's high-rise. It's not that enjoyable to live. Dubai is way too hot, right? Is there an equivalent in terms of safety and taxation and climate in the Caribbean? Right now, there is not, right? St. Kitts and Nevis is not safe. It's pretty bad in terms of crime. And I'm just saying what's out there, right? I am not judging it. I'm just saying to attract that type of people, you need to be safe.
So to get his own way, he claimed that St. Kitts and Nevis is not safe. So he wants his own security, his own laws, own rules within his zone. But this cannot be development. My people, this is dark room governance. CBI faces global scrutiny, yet the government pushes risky structures. Around the world, CBI programs are being tightened, monitored, and in some cases terminated. Think about Malta and others. International partners demand higher due diligence, not law. Stronger oversight, not weaker. More transparency, not more secrecy. Yet here in St. Kitts and Nevis, the SEZ model looks like a deliberate escape hatch from global standards, a way to ship massive volumes of citizens or citizenships, my Straight Dog family, through private hands with minimal visibility. A bypass around systems that are already under pressure. The numbers alone set off alarm bells. As mentioned earlier, when the developers speak of 10,000 new residents, that can equal up to 40,000 additional citizens on Nevis, with a population of just over 13,000. Any responsible leader should pause. The demographic, economic, and national security implications are enormous. Yet the government pushes ahead with consultation without clarity and without safeguards. This is not planning. This is recklessness. And when it comes to conflicts of interest, there are contradictory statements and public distrust. The public has seen enough inconsistency to know something is wrong. Conflicts of interest alleged and never clarified, my Straight Dog family. And Jensen's tried to defend this.
You're a small population, like 10,000 people, you'll always have some potential conflict of interest because maybe your brother is in parliament. It's very hard for us to avoid because we didn't choose real estate agents based on the connections, right? We just chose them for the qualities. And I mean, that it's also, and just take this a step further, right? Even if there was like a conflict of interest, right? There's no, I mean, you still have a cabinet to work with. The cabinet will look at that, right? So it's it's going to be not looked at by one person, which is the king of this thing, right? It's many other people. If somehow this would not be a sound proposal because the one real estate agent involved that had a potential conflict of interest, which I never played out in any way, right? Then, yeah, of course, you will still have so many people that still have to approve that. So it's not like you have a king and then he decides.
Yes, Mark believes he's the king, no matter what you say. A system that looks built for abuse will eventually be abused. This is the core political truth, my people. If you design a system with no guardrails, if you weaken oversight, if you centralize power, if you ignore public institutions like the Bar Association, the Hotel and Tourism Association, the St. Kitts and Nevis Chamber of Industry and Commerce, if you bypass independent scrutiny, then you have built a system capable of the biggest CBI scams in the history of St. Kitts and Nevis. And the SEZ framework as it stands today looks exactly like that system. So we call for immediate course correction. A political system earns legitimacy only when it invites scrutiny rather than runs from it. The SEZ legislation must be reversed, suspended, or radically reformed before irreversible damage is done to our nation's name and sovereignty. The people deserve proper oversight, transparent processes, clear population impact assessments, independent regulation of the CBI, protection of our international reputation, respect for our democracy. Anything less is a betrayal of the Federation. My fellow citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis, I am here before you not to create fear, but to confront it. Not to tear down our country, but to defend it. Not to repeat rumors, but to demand answers. Answers we are owed as citizens of this proud Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. Because today, St. Kitts and Nevis faces one of the greatest threats to its reputation, its sovereignty, and its future. The unfolding controversy surrounding the SEZs and the Destiny and Aquarian Consult projects. And I always speak plainly. The people of this country feel that something is deeply wrong, and the government's silence only deepens that suspicion. The lack of transparency and the collapse of governance. We were told the SEZ legislation would bring investment, innovation, and opportunity. Instead, what we see is the potential for the largest CBI scandal this federation has ever witnessed. Not because we, the people, made that claim, but because the government's own actions have raised every red flag. The Prime Minister and the Premier traveled to Nigeria. Remember that, my Straight Talk family? All of a sudden, he joins the Prime Minister's delegation, accompanied by the chairman of the CBI Board of Governors. They promoted the CBI program, and that is their right. But my Straight Talk family, when we have an executive chairman of the Board of Governors, St. Just his name, he's empowered to police himself. He answers to no independent oversight body and operates within or with what appears to be unchecked authority. Then what will happen? Good governance will collapse. In any democracy, in any system of integrity, no one should be allowed to regulate himself. The executive chairman of the Board of Governors regulates himself. Questionable population claims and disturbing silence, the Destiny Project would bring 10,000 or 40,000 residents, I told you, my straight dog family, to Nevis. And even their deputy premier, Eric Evelyn, was not sure or is not sure where they're coming from. If he doesn't know, what will he tell the people when they ask him? He doesn't know. He says he doesn't know, my straight dog family. We believe him? Yes, he really doesn't know. But does he know anything at all, my straight dog family? Ask yourselves the question. Ask yourselves the question, if he doesn't know where the people will come from, who is supposed to know? Who is supposed to know, my straight dog family? Those are pertinent questions we ask tonight. We ask those pertinent questions tonight when someone can tell us he doesn't know where the 10,000 or more people are coming from. I had to find it, my straight dog family, so I can provide you the evidence. Those who may not have heard this or will hear this for the first time.
As well, which is, I believe, some misinformation. You say that most of the persons who will be living in his zone will be wealthy Americans. We don't know who we don't know whether they will be Americans, Europeans, or where they're going to be coming from, because we are not the ones who will be promoting the development, and we are not the one who's going to be selling the units that are there. So we cannot come and say that most of them will be Americans. We are not sure.
And he's right. It's been really revealed that a large percentage of them may come from Nigeria, a country facing well-documented challenges with corruption. And let me be clear. We welcome every nation, every people, every culture, honestly and respectfully. But when our CBI program is already under international scrutiny, when other countries accuse Caribbean jurisdictions of enabling criminals to purchase identities, we cannot play games with our borders or our reputation. We must protect St. Kitts and Nevis. A pattern we cannot ignore. Remember, I told you about Philippe Martinez and his accusations of a 10 billion CBI scam involving multiple jurisdictions. We remember, my straight dog family. We remember that whistleblower claim. I'm sure we remember that whistleblower claim submitted to the US. I'll try and find it for you, but I'll find it sometime. We are told that this project will generate, again, 40,000 new citizens on an island of just over 13,000 people. Where's the analysis? Where's the environmental impact report? Where is the immigration strategy? Where is the consultation with the Nevisian people? And why are developers advertising job opportunities before the project is even approved? What promises were made? What deals were struck behind closed doors? We've heard 10 different explanations from 10 different officials. The Premier says one thing. Olivier Jensen says another. The government says nothing coherent at all. The public sees this for what it is: chaos, contradiction, and the collapse of credibility. The way forward, my straight dog family. We are not here to tear down investment. But what we demand? We are here to demand clean hands, clear processes, and honest leadership. Therefore, we demand an immediate suspension of the Destiny SEZ project until full independent investigations are completed. Don't tell me nothing about want to approve before next year. We want independent oversight of the CBI program. No more self-regulation. Full disclosure of all agreements. promises and negotiations linked to SEZ projects, a national consultation on the future of our CBI program, and the scale of population changes being proposed. Anti-corruption safeguards that align with the highest global standards, and protection of our demographic and cultural integrity. No population transformation without the consent of the people. And my Straight Talk family, this is my final warning and a call to action. My friends, the Prime Minister and the Premier may be determined to push ahead, but so are the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. And let me be clear, we are stronger, we are more determined, and we are on the side of truth, transparency, and national dignity. If we do nothing, history will judge us harshly. If we act now, firmly, boldly, united, history will honor us as the generation who stood up and said, not in our name, not with our citizenship, not with our country. Together, let us defend our homeland. Together, let us uphold democracy. Together, let us protect the Federation for future generations. St. Kitts and Nevis deserves better. And together, we will demand it. We cannot stay silent any longer when the SEZ has been a gateway to the biggest CBI scams in St. Kitts and Nevis's history. That's my story tonight, my Straight Talk family, and I am not going to change it. But I'll open the lines and entertain your calls and your emails. When I do so, and momentarily I'll do so, I anticipate that you will respect others. And of course, to achieve that, you must first respect yourselves. Let us try to build goodwill and better friendships. Let's ensure that the things we say and or do will be beneficial to all concerned. And in the process of saying and doing those things, my Straight Talk family, let us strive to build a kinder, gentler St. Kitts and Nevis. It's 10 minutes past the 9 o'clock hour. We go to the lines and say good night to our first caller. Caller, you live.
Good night, Mr. Liber.
Good night, my dear.
$1 billion scam are not the only scam.
Not the only scam.
$1 worth of greed is also a crime.
$1 worth of greed is also a crime.
I repeat, $1 billion scam are not the only scam. $1 worth of greed is also a crime. Have a great evening.
Okay. Is also a scam. $1 worth of greed. Thank you. Thank you very much, my dear, for your usual quotations in the context what we have presented tonight. Caller, you are live.
Thank you. Thank you, Brother Patches. Good night. Good night to
Good night, sir.
all my brothers and sisters all around the world, wherever you are. Once again, a very interesting, important perspective done by the great messenger, Mr. Ian Patches Liber. Thank you once again.
Thank you, sir.
For hearing you. But Patches, I was tuning since about 5 o'clock today for Straight Talk. Hope that I did not hear that. Due to the fact today is Thanksgiving, we might not hear you. But thank you, I hear you again. I had some pains, but you're like the miracle man that eased my pain. I felt like arthritis pain coming into my hands. And you said something just a while ago. and my pain disappear. Philip Martinez, remember that situation has not been resolved. And I said whether I call in first, last, or in between. Here is it I am. Brother Patches, you are so sound and verse in your perspective and your observation. It make me wonder, who are you? More and more. Our federation is truly, clearly, is going through, about to, the biggest scam in our history. These people who are involved are more treasonous than Judas, to whom it may concern. You know who you are. Moving forward, we cannot risk any money coming into the Federation in the hands of these people. They are truly and clearly kleptocrats. Thief. And let me say it the colloquial way. Them are thief. We can't risk nothing at all of our nation, security and sovereignty. And they have to go. They have to go. All the parties that are involved, except these thieves, we can do some kind of dialogue and collaboration to whom it may concern. Once again, we have to let them go. They are fired. Fired more than what Donald Trump will say. You are fired. I like that line. That is, all of the parties that is contesting against that labor must join together and move forward and sing this song. Let us defeat them. And I'm calling up on the independents. I'm calling up on the existing incumbent parties. Let us lick labor once and for all. Let them go. And going is not enough. We will deal with them when accordingly. Thank you for that again, and I will yield because I respect time, and I'm going by the rule of gravity. Thank you, Brother Apache.
Thank you very much, my dear brother. And just some breaking news. My prediction was right, after all. I took a risk and went out and put my neck on a block. After hearing the Bincy boss, I think that's what they call him, the boss. After hearing him cursing and crying on his last night, I predicted my Straight Dog family that Ralph was on his last stroll. Remember he said this, he was crying last night.
What I can't tolerate though is some of the ungrateful and bad-minded set of people, some of them. Young people, women, elderly, men, everybody, come back home to labor if you're straight. Please, please, help us to help you. Lift us up. Lift me up, please, I beg you. Lift me up. Lift these comrades up so that we can be lifted up together. Lift me up, please, I beg you. Lift me up. My soul let us lift up each other. When troubles come, don't sell out our country. The NDP have a lot of bad-minded and wicked people in their leadership. Give us a massive.
Well, my Straight Dog family, the people of St. Vincent had enough of Ralph Gonzalez, and he has succumbed to Dr. Friday, who will be the 7th Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And Straight Talk would like to extend greetings to Brother Friday. Caller, you live. Hello, caller.
Good evening.
Good evening, my dear.
Mr. Leiber,
My dear.
my question is, if this is such a scam that will affect our economy, our nation, our brothers and sisters, why is it our governments are proceeding with this? Don't they see that? Who are their advisors? Don't we have people to advise our government parties? If this is such a major scam that all the civil servants and all of us can see, why can't they see it?
It's all about money.
All about money?
I sat in the cabinet. I sat to say this, and I never.
Then they need to wake up.
Yeah, I never knew what was around me. When I thought about teamwork, I mean, Mark Anthony Graham Brantley is corrupt. He's corrupted.
It's time to get rid of them.
Yeah. If he can turn a blind eye and try to justify his wife, Mama Brantley, as the go-between, according to him, a developer and real estate and landowners, and to benefit millions of dollars from that arrangement. And he said that is all right. Wow. That's not the leader we want in this country.
I see. Okay. Well, thank you kindly. Okay.
My pleasure.
Have a good night.
Have a good night as well. Mark Brantley, as I said before, let's go back to the lines. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
Mr. Leiber,
My dear.
can you imagine that St. Vincent and the Grenadines is such a bigger island than think it's Nevis? And our election lasts until like way hours in the morning? That's not right. Something is wrong.
Tomorrow morning, yes.
Have a great evening.
Yes, have a great evening as well. Yes, my Stray Dog family, the results are in. What time is it? It's just 9:20. The polls close at 6 o'clock. And we know that Ralph Gonzalez, there's a term the Vincentians use. They don't say gone in, but they are gone. I forgot the term they use, but Ralph Gonzalez in our terms has gone in after 25 years. Why would he want more years, my Straight Dog family? Why? Is the question we ask. And my Straight Dog family, it is unfortunate that that's what we get from some politicians. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller, you're live. Yes, caller, you're live. Okay, the caller's perhaps listening to his phone. Let's go back to the lines. Caller, you are live. Hello, caller.
Yes, Patches, good evening, man.
Good evening.
You hear me clearly, right?
Yes, I hear you loud and clear.
Okay, thanks to you for bringing the heat every Monday and Thursday night. And I'm going straight to the people of St. Kitts and Nevis tonight, the citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis, home and abroad. Ralph Gonzalez is out in St. Vincent. You know why? It's time for change, time for new leadership, time for new ideas. Those guys had enough. There is some politicians in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis that should step aside as well. And I hope that the people in St. Kitts and Nevis can wake up and follow that model. We in St. Kitts and Nevis, we are too docile. We are too timid. We need to wake up. The system of governance in our country must be broken.
The independents got to come forward. You know why? I've listened to another podcast this morning early, and it seems like the PAM party don't have their act together. You're not going to move the incumbent government on both islands of St. Kitts and Nevis unless you put the work in. And I'm calling for a national unity, according to Kalanji. I'm giving him the props tonight. I'm calling for that national mobilization around this SSC law and that Destiny Project on Nevis. If we so are disappointed and are in disagreement to that Destiny Project, the only way to stop it is by mobilizing in the streets. There is no other way. Election is only 2 years from now, or less. PAM party, I am not a PAMite, but that PAM party, they need to get their act together, and they got to get their act together now. They need to follow in Timothy Harris's lead. In order to move that Labour government and that CCM government in Nevis, the PLP, the PAM, and the NRP party over in Nevis, and possibly the independents as well, is going to have to unite and come together. There's no need for them to wait. The biggest issue on the table now is going to become the referendum in the next election in the Federation. And the sooner they mobilize, the better. If they don't take this opportunity, they are going to lose out on moving these two incumbent governments. History could be made in the Federation of Nevis and St. Kitts and Nevis. Move these parties and these leaders on both islands in both election cycles coming up. Remove them at the same time because they are selling out our country. You heard one of those parties in St. Vincent, they said exactly that. Sellouts. We got to stop these sellout leaders in the Caribbean. And I'm going to tell you, you never know. This St. Vincent election might be the start of the new wave of new politicians in the Caribbean. St. Kitts Nevis people stand up and mobilize and do the right thing. Patches, have a good night. Thanks a lot.
Have a good night as well. We go back to the lines and thank this caller for holding. Call you live.
Good night, Ian Patches Labor. Good night.
Good night, my dear brother. Is that Mr. Patches?
Yes, first I always want to thank God for life. And thank God for the lovely Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. We in a blessed country. And I always say that. But we give the politicians them the way. And when we give politicians them the way to do what they got to do, and they fail us, we know that a next election coming up again in the next 5 years. Now, Patches, do you remember that under the former administration with Dr. Douglas, we had a land for debt swap, and opposition stay in the house just for that bill ain't pass because that it was bad for the ordinary man and woman, especially our young people, to get piece of land when all the land them going in debt in the bank. And we the opposition stand up for that with Dr. Harris and the others who was in there. Now this special zone, right? The people who elect the government, we the majority, them is the minority. And when you come to land is very, very serious. That is your national, your national land, your country, your patrimony. And then you're going to rush to Parliament and pass this law, more special zone that people could come in and live in a special area and got their own security and all this ignorance. I wonder where these people with children, married 5 children, with the grandchildren, and all those are saying and doing. What are they doing about it? What are they saying about it? Because the future generation to come, when these things take place, Patches, you know who's going to own our land? And you know who's going to be the next leader in the country? Is them going to control our affairs. So Patches, our people need to put with the blind politics and see sink it as their own. Not the investor coming in. Look, Patrick, you know, pan failure, we got a lot of investors coming in, all these projects over forget there, and all these condominiums and so all around sinkage. Look around sinkage. And it happened under the Dr. Douglas administration when he was there. And you hear the Prime Minister talking nothing about that. I will hear the Prime Minister talking about the opposition who was there for 7 years. So I want to know if Dr. Harris and the PAM and the CCM was there for 7 years. If they could do as much bad things as when the Labour Party was in government for 20 years under the leadership of Dr. Douglas. You understand, Patches? These are the things people got to study, and these are the things people got to absorb and aware what's going on in this country. Some of these politicians, they ain't for nobody, they ain't for you. They come around election time, come give the X, and after the election done, they turn their back on you. Look at our agriculture system. Look at our hospital system. Patches, you go up the hospital, a lot of people got to walk when you go outpatient. You got to, because the doctor up there to tend to you. Up to this minor boy was telling me something break off in the foot, and he went up there. He said this man when he get up his foot swell up. I met him down by the health center, he said that he not go back up the hospital. Because he went up there and after 6 o'clock in the morning, he walk out and up to now nobody come look for him, come to him. Patches, we're in a serious crisis and people open up your eye. These politicians ain't no God. Patches, have a wonderful night. May God bless you and keep you and continue to do the good work at this federation.
Thank you very much for your contribution, my dear brother. And yes, in the event you may not have heard that Godwin Friday, beg your pardon. Godwin Friday and his NDP has won 11 of the 15 seats, according to preliminary information that has come to hand. The NDP has won 11 of the 15 seats, parliamentary seats, effectively ending the 25-year-old reign of Ralph Gonsalves. New Prime Minister Godwin Friday will be the 7th Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines after independence in 1979. Caller, you live. Hello.
Good evening, Mr. Leiber. Good evening. How are you?
I am peaceful. Yourself?
Thank God you're here to say another Thursday night video show. How is you and your family? Everybody is good?
You're peaceful, yes. And yours?
Okay. So, we are blessed and we are here by the grace of God once more again to see another evening, another Thursday evening. My topic tonight, where is the people who was back in, running here and running there, and on the street, like when you see they have masquerade playing, where is them today? Where is them today for them to back to get those people out of this place? Where is them today to back to get them out of government? Everybody just keeping quiet. Nobody saying nothing. Everybody just please away the man they're doing in the place. He advises them, is dancing advisors. He gonna stop there and he gonna hang his backside. Okay. Because he ain't doing nothing for the country, he ain't bringing on good to the country, he ain't bringing on good to the people. All that he's bringing is pure lie. He and he cabal them. They're enjoying the fruits of labor, and that is the problem right now in the country. Everybody seems tongue for horses underneath this government here. They ain't doing nothing. They ain't doing nothing to gone in India, Mr. Leiber. They have done nothing. They have bring nothing to the country. But torment, problem, all kind of things they bring to the country. Cost of living getting higher. The people ain't got no money to pay the bills them. What happened to the mothers that have their small children them going to school? I hope they're getting a good school meal in school. They eat $500 when you pay the people, you know. The people I'm gonna build them to pay. When the hell gun in the head, who my food? The gun in the hand to pay food. He need to come out. Nobody appreciates him now. He need to come out. And we ain't doing nothing to the country and bringing them to the people them. I start here so they come here with Harvey.
Okay, man. I got you loud and clear. Got your message. Thanks for it.
Vincent, you know.
Yeah. Okay, my dear. Thanks a lot for your intervention tonight. We go back to the lines. And caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
Mr. Patches, greetings.
Greetings, my brother.
And how are you?
I am peaceful. Yourself?
I'm very good myself. I'm going to entrust this upon you. I have you nominated for the Man of the Year talk show host of the year for 2025. I'm saying this because you do research to educate the people, and compared to the other talk shows, you more does a widely spectrum of researches to enable the public at large to in tune with the debate. So from that, I have you as a talk show host, Man of the Year.
I'm humbled.
2025.
I'm humbled, my brother. I'm humbled.
Thank you. Mr. Patches, with this SEZ, sometimes you hear people talk about demonstration, but what I would love to see as a citizen, because the Bar Association makes a stand, I must say. I would like to see the Bar Association engage in some town hall sessions, however they want to put it, on TV or however, so that they could bring some more analyzing of the bill that was passed and that what they objected to. Let the citizens get more involved in the debates, because it's only through education our people could come united. Because you see, demonstration at times we get nowhere. Demonstration at times will bring comfort. But I feel the Bar Association and the Chamber, with this issue that is confronting our national interests, I think they have that kind of authority, that kind of influence to bring some education more to the floor. That's how we look at it, Mr. Patches. The man, Mr. Jensen, you played a clip tonight, and it's saying unit won't be sold. And all what I said to myself, everybody want to get rich out of the country.
Yep.
So many persons think it's just as a business. They should just extract money out of the country. But persons at times who get elected, they sit flat. They just have a job. And that's all sometimes concern some of us. I feel, Mr. Patches, when persons campaign for in an election and they put out the policies, what they would do, when they get elected, that's the time performance should start. Because when persons going for Olympics They have the stages that they have to go through. Over the time, the day, when you get selected to 100 yards, what will do the meet? When you go there, you can't say you're still trying out. You got to perform. And that's how I feel. When persons running for election and they get elected, whatever policies they say they're going to introduce, it should be performance on day one. You know? Jensen also talk about conflict of interest, and he also think it ain't safe. Those things are insults. Think it is safe. Every country have its own ills around the world. And if we're going to let someone telling us our country ain't safe, I mean, we are the leaders to let these persons just be saying these things upon us. Because you see, it's our leaders deal with the people, outsiders deal with the people as well, you know. Those are the lights that shine because they're observing the ministers, how they act with the people. We have to be mindful of ourselves, you know, Mr. Patrick. We are an independent country. Yep. And we cannot say we are an independent country just because of a flag. We got to feel a sovereignty coming from amongst us. Because when conscience, when conflict between material and spiritual values, the conscience plays an important role. And anyone who suffers from a guilty conscience is never free from this problem until he makes peace with his conscience. Mr. Patches, to continue to be strong, the lady always without quotations, embed quotations with your thesis, and that's very good of you. You continue to stay strong, Mr. Patches, stay healthy. God bless.
Thanks a lot. God bless you as well, my dear brother. We go back to the lines and thank this caller for holding. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
Mr. Straight Talk.
Yes. Abracadabra.
Abracadabra. Yes. How are you?
I am peaceful, my brother. Yourself?
Happy Thanksgiving. Peaceful,
happy
man.
Thanksgiving
How are you?
I forgot to mention that.
Mr. Straight
You had your turkey, you had your ham. What you had?
Man, I make a seafood dinner.
Okay.
I make a seafood dinner.
Okay, got you.
Straight up one big pot of seafood I make. So how are you?
Say again?
I said, how are you?
I am peaceful, man. I'm peaceful. I'm really, really peaceful.
Yes, it's so peaceful. Mr. Stretak, I completely forget your show tonight. This is one of the weird things that happened. We don't have no church service tonight, and I'm in my bed laying down, and I said, wait, this is not Stretak night. And I just jump out the bed and put on the thing, and I say, oh, my brother is on the ear, and I'm not listening. So I just get out the bed and put it on, and I say, go ahead. Mr. Stretak, I wanted to provoke something for me because it's late. Mark Bradley, he go between, says that if the contract go down, no, then I get the contract. Think it's going, he's going to have to pay so much and so much if he fail. And then he says, maybe I'm wrong. And then he says, if the man fail the contract, the man going to have to pay so much and so much. Am I right?
Yes, some $76 million theory he got.
But did the man say that no contract was signed?
Yes, he said that no contract was signed. It has to.
But if no contract signed, so who is fooling who?
Well, it has to go to the parliament. But it has to go to the Nevis Island Assembly first, or legislature, whatever it's called, and then it has to go to the parliament in St. Kitts, the National Assembly.
But straight up, you're a sensible man, you're a smart man. If I'm going to tell you I'm going to give you a business, and if you turn it down, you're going to have to pay me. And I'm going to tell you, well, if I turn it down, I'm going to have to pay you. So, that means it's just one amount, nothing attached to it. Am I right?
No, but I think that's when if it's approved and it's
if it's approved,
yeah,
that,
by the parliament,
okay, I got you now.
And then
I got you.
government changes, and then they try to repeal the legislation. Then there's a penalty he's trying to ensure. Mark is trying to ensure that a St. Kitts Nevis government pays a penalty if in the wisdom of the government they repeal the law. Probably have to pay him twice.
I was understanding it wrong. Yeah, I got you.
Probably got to pay him twice whatever capital expenditure he would have outlaid. You know.
Yeah.
And if in the event that the developer don't deliver, he has to pay $76 million. Something like that they're arranging. You know what I mean? You know, but.
Well, I just want to get that straight out of it, so that's all I have to say tonight, because I didn't get it good, and I said, well, I have to call you and find out what's going. But Mr. Straight Up, we have to find some way to give you that Man of the Year award, no? They can't let this thing go down like that. I mean, you've been preaching and you've been saying all this thing, and nobody else do what you're doing, and they can't give you an award.
It's just a service to my people. Don't worry about that awards, you know.
Mr. Stratak, my father says, when you give jacket, the jacket fit him. That's your jacket. So I don't know, my friend there, we see what we can do, and now we're going to put all our family going to come together and do what we're going to have to do. Mr. Stratak, abracadabra, see you when I see you. Dito, we're going to talk.
Dito, my brother. And yes, that caller before, that last caller, spoke to the insult that Jensen gave the people, and he said that we are not safe.
People really want to have a safe place to live. With strict rule of law, where they know their family can live. If you're wealthy, you'll be safe. And it's more about that for me, right? It's not about having a country whatsoever. You just need the safety. You need to write internal rules and regulations to make sure you can be safe. And that's the most important part. You don't need your own country from that. You can have a special economic zone in the world, like in the DIFC. Why is Monaco and the DIFC so attractive? And it's also answering the question why, right? The DIFC and Monaco are one of the safest places in the world. Why does it attract so many affluent individuals? Number one is safety for your family, right? When you have a family, number one you care about is my family safe? The second thing people care about, I would say, is between weather and taxation. In Monaco, you feel super safe because it's very safe. You don't have to pay taxes. You're in a great climate. Unfortunately, Monaco is fully built. It's high-rise. It's not that enjoyable to live. Dubai is way too hot, right? Is an equivalent in terms of safety and taxation and climate in the Caribbean? Right now, there is not, right? St. Kitts and Nevis is not safe. It's pretty bad in terms of crime. And I'm just saying what's out there, right? I am not judging it. I'm just saying to attract that type of people, you need to be safe.
He's just finding an excuse to ensure he gets his own way. He gets his own security inside his own zone and makes his own laws. Caller, thank you for holding your line.
Kadir,
Yes, my lord.
I am going to say something here tonight. And I got some passage scripture for you, but I am going to.
Yeah, but give me the scripture now. What you have to
There
say?
are two people in.
What's that?
There are two people in St. Kitts Nevis. After this, I can get the scripture them patches. They know when election time comes. They gone in. It two of them gone in. So they were trying their utmost best to see what they could do. Because the people don't forget about them that long time. I ain't going to further than deal with that. I said the Bible says, In Psalms 41, it's a blessed is the man that considereth the poor in the time of trouble. The Lord shall deliver him. That is Psalm 37.
Fret not
Here is
thyself.
here, passage.
Fret
not yourself because of evildoers,
neither be envious.
neither be envious against the workers of iniquity. For the soon shall cut down and wither away. Psalm 91, and he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High
Shall abide
on the shadow of thy mighty. So to just I sit down here for a couple of days, and I said to myself, the man them know when the election time comes, they're done with it. So they're trying to pull a wool. Now hear what the man said, nobody smarter than he. I got a deal over the head. So he's trying to hold on. That's it, regard here and see you.
Have a good night, Mr. Bibleman. Caller, thank you for holding your live.
Yeah, thank you again, Patches. Maybe this might be my second call, but I can tell you, Bible man not easy. He not easy. He is very entertaining with those three scriptures. And if I never know anything about the Bible man, and you make me learn about the Bible, them three scriptures there, which I'm not going to repeat. But anyway, moving forward. That line that Johnson used about our country is not safe. What do you understand about that code in that code? He's saying to the same people who are trying to fight for him, who are trying to make his deal come true, insulting them. That's what me understand. He's telling them they're not ready yet. So let him get the first step. And from the first step, he's going to take a mile. All the man want to get in. And his mission is moving forward. He make them look small. He make them look like, why you don't know why you do. Okay? And that is a message I understand from that. If I only get the chance. I hope the people think it can try to extract and interpret for themselves. And I know others have interpreted the same way. But the gentleman who spoke a while ago said you should get the Caribbean Award, the Nation Award. But I personally have you as a Nobel Peace Prize. Nowhere in the world, any talk show host, any educator, any informer, any messenger perform the way you perform. Either they would have been dead, would not do that in China, would not do that over in they would try to stop you in your track. But thank God, this is a demonstration and a model for freedom in our region. But we have some, I ain't going to use the word, we have some people down here, a king does not honor in the country, and down here it is said. But Patties, me recognize you as a king, and I have to give you that. And what is for you is for you. And if the jacket fit, and the jacket for you, it must fit. You see that caller? I don't know his name. But anyhow, if I get the chance, I need you in my cabinet for advisor without application or reservation. So whosoever you are, we could talk. I would like to speak to you up close and personal. Because I soon come home. I hope I will be there.
Okay, my brother.
To my duty and my honor to the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. I don't have time to wash my mouth on any of those kleptocrats anymore. I will move with my push. And last but not least, I need to clean this up, Patches. From when I came on your show, have you ever heard me said, I am going to hang people? Well, the rumor is going around say I am going to hang people. I don't know if they're scared or I sound like a wicked hangman. But let me make it clear. I said if anyone sell out my country is treasonous. And if they commit treason, I said, what is the penalty for treasonous people or treason? Okay? I didn't say going around to hang people. So do not extract from the beginning and extract from the end and just use the word. They hear welcome say or manners say he's going to hang people. I hope I am clear. Okay? But if you cause harm to the country, I will defend my country, my family, and my friends. Thank you for allowing me again.
Thank you for your contribution. Let's go back to the lines. Thank this caller for holding. Caller, your line. Hello, caller. Are you there, caller?
Hi, Patrick. Good night. I just want to say a gentleman who called himself Tom Winston, welcome. He wouldn't like to get the previous caller in his cabinet because he would be held to tell the truth. That's all I want to say.
You what? He lost me there. Let's take this other caller. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller. I keep missing this call here. I keep missing that caller there, but let's take this other call then. Caller, you are live. Hello, caller.
Yes, Patches, let me get back in for a quick minute, man. I just want to say, right, the NHCS, Chamber of Industry and Commerce, the Bar Association, and I think it's the Tourism Association, have all made statements, right? And I commend them for that. But I'm going to say, those persons who have the know-how and the knowledge about what's going on, even though I'm going to agree with the previous caller, we need the education, but I want to highlight to him and the audience that these community groups are not the ones that was leading the way against this SSC law. We are just recently hearing from them. And I am in agreement with him. Yes, we need the education from those organizations and the persons that has the knowledge. But they are not coming forward enough. They are not. We can't ignore that. It's the people, and we must give ourselves on this talk show. And Patches, thanks to you, and we're going to hold you up. What you and your callers and your listeners got to understand, we cannot downplay us on top of this podcast. We are being educated here already, even without those community groups. We need to see more from them. And I'm going to agree with that caller. Yes, of course. We need them to lead the way, not to be coming from behind. Patches, the clip you played, I paid attention to it. And I knew you was going to clip it out. When Jensen said that he had conversations with the federal government.
Yes.
When I heard that, Patches, I also knew now that our Prime Minister, not just the Premier alone, but the Prime Minister also has been telling us a pack of lies.
As usual.
And you have the clip on Freedom FM when he was saying that the Destiny Project on Nevis, he didn't get no information about it yet. It's just out there somewhere in space. And Patches, if you have that clip, man, if you could kill it up before you come off, you'll have this Prime Minister busted as well. They are telling us a bunch of lies, and they're not bringing the good governance and the transparency that they promise. St. Kitts and Nevis people, wake up, stand up, secure the lands that we were so luckily to get coming out of slavery. Secure the lands for the next generation. Patches, I'll leave it there tonight, man. Thanks a lot for bringing this information forward and keep the fire alive. Have a good night, man.
Have a good night as well. Thanks for your contributions. This message reminds us of the the fact that Ralph Gonzalez has lost. This other email reads, "Good evening, Patches. I would like to appeal for a national panel to be hosted with the theme Protecting Petitions and Divisions Now and in the Future. We have been made aware of the dangers of not only the Destiny Project, but also the Special Sustainability Zone Act, beg your pardon. Thank you to everyone who lent their voices. Now we are in need of an action plan to thwart this attempt of incremental recolonization, as well as to make sure it never happens again. This attempt has highlighted our weaknesses and where changes need to be made. Selling our nationality and always looking to foreigners has allowed this to happen. There is a lot of work to do. The national panel will also highlight that this is not a political issue, but an issue important enough to unite all corners of a society that often makes gods and religion of politicians and politics. This panel would need to emphasize that amending is not enough, but that repeal is necessary. We have already seen the intention of these people. Tightening the act and allowing them among us only makes this easier for them to do this in the future. Be warned, conquering is their blood. They would only bide their time. Therefore, I am appealing to everyone, including all members from all parties, PAM, PLP, NRP, former Labour members, former CCM members, organizational bodies, the Bar Association, religious bodies, cultural and heritage bodies, our police, our financial institutions, our businesses, our psychologists and historians. Everyone, podcast hosts, journalists, concerned citizens, the King's Council, the DJs, former politicians, our Caribbean friends, including those in Anguilla and Barbados, our people in the diaspora who can afford it, expats living amongst us and not in gated communities. For the ordinary folk, join Dr. Timothy Harris in marching if you can. They believe us to be an impotent and complacent people. Let us prove them wrong. Don't tire, don't become distracted. National panel, no to SSZ, no to Destiny. Theme, protecting petitions and divisions now and in the future. Thanks for everything you are doing. A concerned, encouraging and well-meaning citizen. Caller, you are live. Hello, caller. Hello?
Good evening. You can hear me?
Not too good. Could you speak into the phone?
I will just please, you could hear me. You could hear me now?
That's much better, yes. Thanks a lot. Is that the dimple lady?
Yes.
Why are you afraid to speak? Are you afraid?
I'm not afraid. No.
Are you afraid of July?
I said, no. I'm the only one I think.
Okay. I want the whole world to hear you.
Yes.
Okay.
How are you?
I am peaceful.
How are you doing?
I am peaceful. Yourself?
I'm giving God thanks another night.
Something is wrong with your phone now. What is it?
Oh my God!
That's better now. But
can you hear me again?
I'm hearing you now. But yeah, just speak up then.
Oh my God! I hope it does tonight. Yes, I said. The quicker we get this government out of power, the better it is for us.
I believe you.
And we need a high priest in Sinkit and a good doctor who could deal with crazy people. Because I think King Lawyer needs a high priest to pray for him, and he needs a doctor to fix him from his craziness. Listen to me every time he hear Mr. Harris talk.
he go crazy. If you hear him today on the radio, you will say, well, definitely that man there is a crazy psycho, lawyer, pad, or lawyer. The horse and I look like he didn't even scared of him. Because that a question, he tried to ask him, but he not listen. He not listen. Something is wrong with the man there, and we need a high priest from him to stop selling too much lawyer, and he need a good doctor from Hender. He is so crazy. I could tell you that the quicker we get rid of him out of the office, the better it is for we think it's and these people in this country here. He wouldn't do at all. He's too loyal. And loyal is what just bring down a country. And it's done we going because there is two liars. You have a good evening.
Have a good evening as well. Always grateful for your contribution. Good night, Mr. Lai, but reads this other email. I would like to see if Jew is blind to let Mark outsmart him. Mark used the federal parliament to pass the law. So if things don't work out, it's the federal government will have to pay, not NIA. Will he and his wife benefit from the money if the project doesn't come off? If it comes off or don't feel they will benefit from whatever deal. As much as I don't support Drew, I think he should pull out with this email. And my Straight Talk family, as we now wind down our programming for tonight, I wanted to play this, or let me take this call first and I'll get back to that. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
Hello, good night, Patches.
Good night, sir.
How are you?
I am peaceful. Yourself?
I'm good. Well, I'm not so good because I'm in bed and I can't really sleep. This whole thing is just upsetting with this SEZ zone and who shot John's story. I'm very, very concerned because I'm in my late 20s. I'm a young man calling from Nevis, and I hear everybody crying. And the premier keep on saying, ignore the noise. Well, I just want to know if the cries that he hearing ain't the same cries he gonna be coming back to and voting there. Have a good night.
Have a good night as well. Well said, my dear brother. You know, it is strange but true. He said that he's the brightest man around, and nobody can outsmart him. He's the top of the class. And I wanted to play this and recommend that you listen to this carefully.
There are a lot of people who get involved as leaders. They do so because they think that they're bright. Brightness. There are two kinds of brightness. A brightness which blinds and a brightness which illuminates. If I'm driving my SUV and have the beams on, and you're driving yours, Neil, and we're coming in from opposite directions to each other, oh, there is a tremendous amount of brightness, but we are blinding each other. Neither of us can see properly the road where we are going. The brightness which we must look for is the brightness which illuminates the pathway. How many times you see some youngsters or not so young people think they're particularly bright. They burn themselves out like the passing meteor, and they simply fall. The brightness which they will bring to the table will blind people. not illuminate the pathways.
Well, Ralph Gonzalez was blinded by his own brightness. Got 24, 25 years and wanted 5 more, when he could have gone into the sunset undefeated after 5 terms. But he got a whopping tonight from Friday, Dr. Godwin Friday, defeating the Ralph's ULP by 11 seats to 4, we are told. And I saw it coming, because at the last hour, Ralph was cursing and at the same time begging.
What I can't tolerate though is some of the ungrateful and bad-minded set of people, some of them. Young people, women, elderly, men, everybody, come back home to labor if you're straight. Please, please, help us to help you. Lift us up. Lift me up, please, I beg you. Lift me up. Lift these comrades up so that we can be lifted up together. Lift me up, please, I beg you. Lift me up. Let us lift up each other. When troubles come, don't sell out our country. The NDP have a lot of bad-minded and wicked people in their leadership. Give us a massive victory.
The people gave him a massive defeat. Dr. Godwin Friday rolled out his plans for St. Vincent while Ralph was begging.
From lowering the rates on the central consumption tax to increasing the salaries of public servants, the New Democratic Party outlined its plans at a rally that was also part Thanksgiving and part celebration.
And so we have a date with destiny.
There was some praise and worship and a little gospel too in the meeting at Keaton's in the rural west of the island.
I have come here to share some great news with every single one of you. And that is because weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning.
The central message of the night came from a party that says, if elected, it will target St. Vincent's affordability crisis, starting by reducing the rate of the value-added tax.
You will be able to afford it when we reduce the VAT.
The NDP continues to believe it is on the cusp of something special.
I tell you this, that on the morning of the 28th of November, we are going to hear, you're going to look across to your neighbors, and they're going to shout, free at last! Free at last! Thank God Almighty! We are free at last.
And yes, my Straight Talk family, tomorrow morning, many Vincentians will be saying they're free at last after a quarter century of Ralph Gonzalez and his ULP. A landslide political transformation for the New Democratic Party, led by Dr. Godwin Friday. Straight Talk extends congratulations to the party leader and all his candidates and elected representatives. Friday will become the island's 7th Prime Minister since their independence in 1979. And The NDP's strategic campaign ended in an early victory, securing 11 parliamentary seats, effectively ending Gonzalez's extended political tenure. After the new Prime Minister prepares to assume office, national attention would be focused, no doubt, on his affordability agenda, reduction of VAT, and so on. But here in St. Kitts, my Straight Dog family, alas, we have uncovered a better scam in the SEZ Project Destiny. Jensen revealed that units will be sold at $325,000 under the CBI program. They never told us it was a CBI. But yes, Jensen revealed this.
Is the project a CBI project?
We're still discussing with the government, of course, but yes, the idea is that people that buy a unit can also get a passport with that, so it also increases the CBI income, because the CBI income has been drying up substantially. It's also a big concern for the island, so it can definitely help rejuvenate the whole passport program.
Yes, my people, under the CBI, with 10,000 applications, we estimate 4 per family. The applicant, his wife, and 2 children. That means 40,000 settlers, as someone put it, will descend upon Nevis in that enclave. If we estimate 10,000 units at $325,000 per unit, that's $3.25 billion US dollars, or 8.8 billion EC dollars. There can only be one conclusion. This SEZ over there in Nevis, and the SEZs generally in St. Kitts and Nevis, are gateways to the biggest CBI scams in St. Kitts and Nevis's history. And our First Lady gave us our quotation for the night. $1 billion scams are not the only scams. $1 worth of greed is also a scam. Terence Michael Drew remained silent, and Mark Anthony Graham Brantley lied. CBI fees can amount to US $650 million, or 1.8 million EC dollars. And 25% of that will be $439 million. And Terence Michael Drew is so dotish. We understand he has agreed with Mark that any CBI project in Nevis, the monies will be paid to Nevis and then transferred to St. Kitts after deducting his 25%. What nonsense. But we know, again, my Straight Dog family, that Jensen has been talking to both governments. He's been talking to Mark Brantley, and he's been talking to Terence Michael Drew.
You just mentioned that an office will be opened on the island of St. Kitts and one on Nevis as well for Destiny. My question is related to that. When did this, have you had any discussions with the federal government about Destiny? And when did those discussions begin? Thank you.
Thank you, Carl. Appreciate it.
Yeah, of course we had discussions with the governments. I mean, with both of them, right? So as I mentioned with the premier, the initial ideas were discussed in 2024 in the summer, and then they took more shape. It became more serious, and then we had enough land, and it was serious enough to go public summer 2025, sort of the summer 2025, right? But of course, yeah, we have been talking to the government, and we will continue to do so.
So, my people, we are not imagining things. We are reacting to the complete lack of transparency, oversight, and accountability surrounding the first project being pushed, being rammed through under the SEZ umbrella. Let us speak frankly. The SEZ is being widely viewed as a structure deliberately designed to enable the largest citizenship by investment abuses our country will ever face if it remains in that form. Why? Because every safeguard that should reassure the public has been weakened, while every condition that typically fuels corruption has been strengthened. And my Straight Dog family, we have to make demands. The SEZ model looks like a deliberate escape hatch from global standards, a bypass around systems that are already under pressure. And he said St. Kitts Nevis is not safe. Imagine
people
that.
really want to have a safe place to live with strict rule of law, where they know their family can live. If you're wealthy, you'll be safe. And it's more about that for me, right? It's not about having a country whatsoever. You just need the safety. You need to write internal rules and regulations to make sure you can be safe. And that's the most important part. You don't need your own country from that. You can have a special economic zone in the world, like in the DIFC. Why is Monaco and the DIFC so attractive? And that's also answering the question why, right? The DIFC and Monaco are one of the safest places in the world. Why does it attract so many affluent individuals? Number one is safety for your family, right? When you have a family, number one you care about is my family safe? The second thing people care about, I would say, it's between weather and taxation. In Monaco, you feel super safe because it's very safe. You don't have to pay taxes. You're in a great climate. Unfortunately, Monaco is fully built. It's high-rise. It's not that enjoyable to live. Dubai is way too hot, right? Is an equivalent in terms of safety and taxation and climate in the Caribbean? Right now, there is not, right? St. Kitts and Nevis is not safe. It's pretty bad in terms of crime. And I'm just saying what's out there, right? I am not judging it. I'm just saying to attract that type of people, you need to be safe.
Imagine, even countenance the conflict of interest as well. This regarded the existing conflict of interest between Mark and Mama Brantley.
If you're a small population, like 10,000 people, you'll always have some potential conflict of interest because maybe your brother is in parliament. It's very hard for us to avoid because we didn't choose real estate agents based on the connections, right? We just chose them for the qualities. And I mean, that it's also, and just take this a step further, right? Even if there was like a conflict of interest, right? There's no, I mean, you still have a cabinet to work with. The cabinet will look at that, right? So it's going to be not looked at by one person, who is the king of this thing, right? It's many other people. If somehow this would not be a sound proposal because there was one real estate agent involved that had a potential conflict of interest, which I think never played out in any way, right? And then. Yeah, of course, you will still have so many people that still have to approve that. So it's not like you have a king and then he decides.
So the way forward, my Straight Dog family, and what we demand is what I leave with you. We're not here to tear down investment. We're not here to reject development. We are here to demand clean hands, clear processes, and honest leadership. Therefore, we demand an immediate suspension of the Destiny SEZ project until full independent investigations are completed. A repeal or comprehensive reform of the SEZ legislation, supported by the Bar Association, the Chamber of Industry and Commerce and Civil Society. We demand independent oversight of the CBI program, no more self-regulation. We demand full disclosure of all agreements, promises, and negotiations linked to the SEZ projects. We also demand a national consultation on the future of our CBI program and the scale of population changes being processed. Anti-corruption safeguards that align with the highest global standards. Protection of St. Kitts and Nevis's demographic and cultural integrity. No population transformation without the consent of the people. And finally, and to my friends, the Prime Minister and the Premier seem determined to push ahead. But we are the people of St. Kitts Nevis, and we must determine to push ahead as well. And let me be clear, absolutely clear. We are stronger, we are more determined, we are on the side of truth, transparency, and national dignity. If we do nothing, history will judge us harshly. If we act now, firmly, boldly, united, history will honor us as the generation who stood up and said, not in our name, not with our citizenship, not with our country. Together, let us defend our homeland. Together, let us uphold democracy. Together, let us protect the Federation for future generations. St. Kitts and Nevis deserves better, and together, let us demand it. We cannot stay silent when the SEZ has become a gateway to the biggest CBI scams in St. Kitts and Nevis's history. That's my story tonight, my Straight Talk family, and I am not going to change it. I want to thank Almighty God for guiding our conversation tonight, as always. I want to thank you, the viewers and the listeners alike, and those who sent emails, those who called. Remember, you are the ones who make Straight Talk. And for that reason, I say a big, big thank you. Until we connect on Monday for another edition of Straight Talk, have yourselves a wonderful weekend. Be good to all whom you meet. And remember that whatever your mind conceive, that you will achieve. But first of all, you got to believe. So when you wake in the morning, thank God for the morning light. Thank Him for taking you through the night. And my Straight Talk family, let's, again, as we depart, congratulate the NDP in St. Vincent and the Grenadines for their impressive victory. Bye-bye. Until we connect on Monday, keep moving on.
In the morning, I thank God for the morning light. Give Him thanks and praises for taking me safe.